What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
The South's commercial bill flamethrower. Bossman in the BAM. WBOSS Bossman Radio.
Approaching me, that I've never seen a man who looks so all alone. Or could you use a little company? If you pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and you can go and send me on my way.
Live from the Peach Pit in historic Bruton, Alabama, it's Drive Time with your hosts, DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Drive Time. Brought to you exclusively by Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet. Good morning, Nick Green. Good morning, Hot Rod. Larry Murphy. Sheila Drennan. Good morning, Sheila. Jesse Rigby, Larry Murphy, Aunt B. Good morning. Good morning, Ken Wood. Good morning, Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
Good morning.
I've been better.
Yeah, I heard a story that your earlobes may be sore today, but you did great Saturday. I was impressed.
I'll tell you, I don't know if impressed is the right word. I did survive, but before we get too far into this, kudos to you and anybody, and I mean anybody who had a hand in developing that and running that. I have nothing to compare it against. I've never done anything like that before, but that was nothing short of amazing. I was impressed with everything. Every detail was covered. Your volunteer staff was on point. The guys who developed the course, I mean, it was incredible. Y'all were to be commended. Well,
thank you. I appreciate it. Our sponsors were a large part of that, but Edith Kelly and Paul's Cross had about 30 volunteers out there, and then Michelle Walker also had about 25, 30 volunteers out there, and the T.R. Miller Athletic Club had several volunteers out there. So we had in the neighborhood of around 100 people helping us out, and it was a phenomenal event. It couldn't have gone much better. Russell Martin and Stephen Wilson, can't say enough good things about them, and guys that work for the city that did a lot of the coursework. You know, I was there kind of pointing them in the right direction and getting them going. And Craig Jerkins allowing us to work with them, and the mayor who helped put this on. It's just a great event, and I think it was something we can look forward to in the future.
You know, I couldn't help as I was trying to navigate the course, and it was navigating me more than I was it. But all I could think about was back in the day when this country was settled and how they made roads. Because I mean, the swaths that were made through there were certainly two-lane highway or two-lane roadways wide anyway, and they really went into a jungle and made a road through there. But I mean, I just can't get over the amount of elbow grease and sweat equity that everybody had involved in that. But it was impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So it was a great time. I was really impressed with the number of people that came out, and there was over 300 runners, and there were a lot of people there watching, also cheering people on, and that's what I was really excited about, to see the number of people that came out and supported it.
Who was the? I know you had the elite race to start it off, and I've heard different bits and pieces of the times for some of those people. What were the times?
Kevin Thompson from, I believe he was around Navarre. Came up and ran 38 minutes, and he won $300 for first place, and he was impressive. And then we had another young man named Jace Daniels, who goes to Escambia Academy, actually finished second. I did not allow him to get money because he's still an amateur athlete. So he finished second, and then Jacob Fillmore finished third and got $200, and Harrison Horton. We really appreciate those two showing up.
Yeah, a couple of our guys.
A couple of our guys, and Harrison played inside linebacker for me back about 2000. Probably about 2010 or so, something like that. And was a great guy. And, Keith Horton was a sponsor for us, and they came up and ran for us, and man, about two put together guys, they were put together.
30 what minutes you say was the winning time?
38.
I don't see how that's possible. 3.8 miles?
I'm with you. It was 3.8 miles, 38 minutes through the creek.
And he went through the shoe sucker?
Through the shoe sucker, through everything. I was like, and he separated himself from everybody else. It was not even close.
I'm going to tell you something, and everybody probably has a different opinion on the challenges that the course presented. For me, the shoe sucker, a bad person came up with that. So whoever came up with that needs some clinical help. I mean, that is just, it was torturous on the body, the mind. You know, that's bad.
Yeah. When we started working on the course, that part was kind of already there. That is a natural spring at the top of that hill, abandoned wash hole. And it comes down about 150 yards. It is nothing but just the blackest mud that you have ever seen. And it was, you know, it wasn't that bad for the elite race, but after 150, 200 runners had gone through there, it turned into a quagmire, which is what you want for these things. So it was quite special. And then I was noticing also, if you looked at a lot of times, you know, you think you went down a creek bank or whatever, it's no big deal. Well, we had ropes in all the creek banks. You needed those ropes.
You couldn't get up without it.
You know, the first 15 people get through with no problem. But after that, it starts getting wet and slick, and you had to have the ropes. There's a phenomenal picture of Brandon Barlow and Tabitha Barlow.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's probably going to wind up on our website.
Yeah.
All said and
yeah,
done.
that was a cool pic.
Yeah, that was a great picture.
How did you, when you obviously decided O'Bannon is the place with the creek and E.O. Wilson Park and O'Bannon and Jennings Park, and you incorporated all those beautifully. When you got in there, did you survey the land any at all before you started making the course, or did you just find an open area and say, okay, we're going to start here and we're going to wind on through?
The E.O. Wilson Park was pretty much already, they'd done that about a year ago. And what Steve Lake was wanting to do is he was wanting to promote E.O. Wilson, get people coming in and see what we've got down here in the city, which is amazing that we have parks like this in the middle of a city. It doesn't even make sense. So it's something that's a jewel that we've got here. And then we went over to the O'Bannon side, and we kind of walked through there and did some things and made the trails there. The O'Bannon side is what took a lot of work. There was a lot of time spent on O'Bannon over there.
Kenwood, you'll love this. I thought, you know, there was several things there that messed with your mind. I'd been out there. I don't know how long I'd been out there. I obviously didn't have a watch on, but I'd convinced myself that I was about halfway through that thing. And all of a sudden, about 500 yards later, I pop up and I see a sign that says, "You have reached the 1 mile marker." And I took a kick at
Winning.
I took a kick at it. I said, "Are you kidding me? This thing's 3.8. I'm just now getting to the 1 mile marker. Bad. I want all the mile marker signs put down." That was just, I mean, you're talking about this devastating. That was terrible.
I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm sitting over here listening to these stories, and, you know, after talking to several people that ran that run on Saturday, I'm sitting there having flashbacks to jungle runs when I was in the Army. And I can tell you that I don't know necessarily, because I didn't run the race on Saturday, but I can tell you that from experience, if you see me running anymore, shoot the first person that you see behind me, okay? Because and I'm not saying that. Listen, I enjoy it, and I think I want to say this, Rob. You are to be commended, obviously, for a great event, a great turnout. You know, just a lot of good things going on down there. Even the heat couldn't keep people away. I mean, it was hot, but it was well organized. It was a great time, and people seem to be having a big time. You know, down there, everybody you spoke with, they all seem to be having a real good time. And of course, you know, seeing some of those people come through that, you know, I had a bunch there standing with me for about, 30, 45 minutes that, you know, we kept getting DJ reports. That's what we were, you know, getting from people. And the reports basically were, he's struggling. That's what we kept hearing.
They were accurate.
And then, you know, I said, I was telling y'all, I said, he's going to finish. He ain't going to, I said, he's going to finish. I'm telling you, he's going to willpower himself through finishing this. But, you know, I go back to those days of doing that kind of thing. And the bad thing was after we would go through and run that type of stuff, we'd have to turn around. When I turn around, we'd come out of it and then have to run 8 miles on, you know, at the end of it with a 50-pound ruck on and combat boots. So, yeah, I mean, you know, and now obviously, you know, they were getting ready to send people over to the desert and all this kind of stuff. So they were kind of being hardcore at that time, but still, you know, that's a tough gig. I mean, you think about it, and I'm telling you this, they started that about 3 weeks into it. Well, let me tell you something. For a guy that had never, you know, didn't really know what was going to happen, when you get there, they start you out at, you know, 1.5 miles. And if you fall out of formation running, well, you don't want to do that. So, you work into that thing. But, there are people that obviously, and you're talking about that guy that ran it. How many minutes did you say?
38.
So there are people that obviously train for these types of events, all the time.
Oh, yes.
And this is what they do. They enjoy, speaking of people that train and do that type of thing, I do want to say this as well. Thank you for stepping in when DJ and Tony got arrested by a member of the Chi. I'm convinced there was some Chi foolishness that went on down there. I have not been able to put my finger on that just yet, but I am convinced that that's what it was. And, I do want to thank you for stepping in. The guy that came up to stand in for Tony Burnham, that just really wasn't a fair.
That was not fair.
No, it wasn't. But let me say this:
he's a superhuman.
But you adapted and overcome, and you ended up winning the race. That's why that belt is still sitting right where it's at this morning. That's why it's here.
I was just trying to stand up my buddy Team DJ over here.
Well, that's right, and you did, and you did, and I'm glad you did, because I'm telling you, that was classic. The way that you just got out and just said, the heck with that last obstacle. He can run through it all he wants to, and here you come. Well, I can tell you this. As secret weapons go, when DJ and Tony, without the police involved, do run this 109, we're going to have a secret weapon sitting over there waiting as well. And I'm going to tell you something. Back in the day, he wore number 40 on his jersey. Okay,
that's right.
So if we're going to play by those rules, that's fine, but we're going to play by them as well. So, all we wanted to know was I had people coming to me going, what happened? I'm like, listen, I'm just as in the dark about this thing as you are. I don't know what happened. I wouldn't have come down here and set all this stuff up and sweating and all this kind of stuff to have all this happen. I don't know what happened. So, but I'm convinced that T-Bone got with Chief at some point, and they had all this set up. Now, DJ, you may or may not, you got thrown in the back of a Tahoe. You may or may not know what happened. Did he say anything to you on the way to the Tahoes as y'all were getting taken out of there?
No, there was, I was aware of an incident that had been hanging out there since '86. And I didn't know that it was still out there, but I knew there was going to be some questions that had to be answered, and I was glad to go down and do it.
Well, I heard you mention, was this about the Sex Panther?
It was.
Okay.
Cologne back in the day.
Well, I think we may have started that last week. We were talking about it.
I've gotten that baby's been put to bed now. I'm done. Like I said, I got out a lot earlier than Tony did. I was probably back at my house by 3:00, and he was still there when I left. I don't know where his situation stands. To be honest with you, I don't care. But it happened. It was unfortunate it happened, but it is what it is. But I want to make one more point just back at the race, and I mean this seriously. When you're talking about it being a grind and trying to get through it, the volunteers that were staged throughout the course were amazing. The way they encouraged the competitors when they came by. And you may not think it matters. I can tell you it mattered to me. And when they would come by, and obviously there was struggle written all over my face. There was pain and anguish all over my face. The words of encouragement help. And I really appreciate that from all of them. Every station you went through, there was somebody saying some encouraging words to you. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was. And it's just like a home court advantage in a basketball, in a basketball game or a football game. You want those people behind you. And that's what they were, that's what they were doing. And I was really pleased with them. And you really had, I'm telling you, there was probably 75 on the course.
Had to be.
And there's 30 something obstacles out there. So there's two at a lot of them. And it makes you feel good when you got people cheering you on. There's also a lot of Bruton's Fire Department was out there also cheering folks on. So
yes, they were.
That was good. So
I saw that.
We had all that covered as far as, if there's the water and everything, there was going to be nobody else going to slip off or whatever. So we were shallow water crossings also. So it was a good deal.
It looked like speaking of the fire department, it looked like some of the fire department were kind of owning the pugil stick ring over there that the National Guard had set up. I don't know if you had I know you were very busy. I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of that, but it looked like Logan Williamson stayed up there on top of the mound there for several rounds, and I didn't get. I was kind of trying. This was during the time where I was trying to wait for DJ to come around, that kind of thing. So I didn't get to watch a lot, but it looked like he had things under control. And I'm going to tell you something. They make that look like it's a lot of fun A lot of fun.
Till you kicked one upside the head.
But what they don't tell you is they ain't a bunch of foam and styrofoam and all this kind of stuff in basic training. It's a bunch of sawdust.
Yeah.
Okay. And wood chips. And when you fall, you don't fall down and just, let's get, no. And I'm telling you right now, they pair you up with people supposedly your size. Well, let me tell you how that goes. That doesn't go that way. Okay. You liable to have to step up there with somebody like Logan, and Logan takes a crack at you and you're, 4 foot away from the beam you were just standing on. I will say this. I watched Logan. I don't know. Maybe they were somebody up there popping off, whatever. He hit this one guy over there with that stick, and I'm telling you right now, if that helmet could have come off that guy, it would have. I don't think he was trying to hurt the guy. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying they were in there, all in fun. But I mean, it was they were getting after it pretty good. But no, there was a lot of great things going on down there, and I know when we come up to the gate, from the time you come into the gate and went on back or what have you. It's just that was a first class event. And you, I tell you, I know that you and I spoke early on and you were concerned about, a few things, this and that and other, but I'm telling you, hey, all those concerns were, you handled them. That's all I can tell you.
I appreciate it. I tell you, my favorite thing had to be was as far as starting the races, the kids race.
Yeah.
They were so excited and ready to go. I mean,
that's
awesome. What you love to see. And I went down there on Friday afternoon. I'd taken several of my cross country runners down there. And I said, y'all are going to lead the race for these kids. And it's a good recruiting tool for us right here to get some other kids, in the program and running. And we got a pretty good cross country program, by the way. And so they were going to lead the race and everything. I had Olivia Blackman out there and Ryder Jernigan, a few of our better runners. Michael Flores was out there.
Oh, dear Lord.
And they were supposed to lead the race.
Yeah. We got to get that. We got to get that crackhead cam set back up, don't we? We got to get that done.
But he was supposed to lead the race, and I fired the gun. And those kids took off like they were shot out of a cannon. I mean, they were running everywhere. And they were my cross-country runners in the back because they know better than take off like that. And, buddy, they were gone. But the kids were great, and they had a good time. And I think we only lost one kid in the shoe sucker. But we did find him a few minutes later. So
I was going to say,
there might still be
did you find, was everybody accounted for?
I don't know. I guarantee it's about 20 pair of shoes up there, though.
I'm going to tell you, and this is live internet radio. I get it. The shoe sucker's a great name for it.
Don't do it, DJ.
There was another name that I had in my head that I was calling it, eerily similar, but a little different verbiage. But I started thinking, like in terms of law enforcement, you building new prisons, this or that, the other. I'm thinking if you did 20 acres of that and put some barbed wire around it and just made people stand in it all day long, I mean, just slop around in it, you would get me to act in. Good Lord. Oh, my God. Is your truck locked?
Is your truck locked? I hope it is.
I hope it is. Better be.
They could use that as a deterrent. I'm telling you, man, that is, it plays with your mind. It plays with your mind.
Well, I'll tell you another thing that kind of impressed me, I guess, if you will, was, such a great thing going on and a lot of people down there. I haven't been down since they got the arena finished, the rodeo arena, and that's impressive.
That's really impressive. That's going to be a first-class event also. And Steve was telling me, talking about putting a roof on top of that thing also.
Oh, wow.
So there's going to be all kind of things there. And I see next year we're going to probably start and finishing that thing. That would be really nice.
Hey,
I used part of it. I didn't use it this year because they were still painting and things.
Right.
I didn't want to mess anything up. So,
but I'll tell you what, that thing's first class.
Oh, is it ever first class?
Yeah.
There's somebody put some money in that thing.
Yeah, that is a very, very nice thing. And I guess that would be the mayor of the city, and they're to be commended for that. I can tell you, it's a super, super nice. We all been to the rodeos, and of course, the temporary arenas they set up. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying this one that they have put up down there is A plus. I mean, it is first class.
I'd like to see another city our size have something like that.
Oh yeah,
it's unbelievable.
No. And I've said for years, and I'll say this again. I've said for years that O'Bannon Park was the most underused park in our city. And we have a lot of great parks, and don't get me wrong, but O'Bannon has a lot of things going for it. Number one, you've got all that area as far as parking and things like that. You've got the creek. you've got of course a Bow Bell and them have the pavilion down there. They do the canoe rentals out of that kind of thing. But I mean, there are a lot of things to do. I mean, as far as O'Bannon goes, and I'm just glad to see it starting to get used more.
Years ago there was a master plan to tie all that in to the backside of the YMCA. The YMCA has some development directly behind the soccer field.
That's right.
And I think with the momentum we have now in terms of activity going on down there, I think you'll see it piece together, and that's exciting what that may become as well.
Have you ever walked? Going out behind the fields when you first come into O'Bannon, you take a right on the dirt road, go through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever walked down as far? You got to be right there close to the Y.
You're down there in West End, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you get almost on top of Edgewood,
right?
And then you kind of come in and come back up.
That's right. So
it's going to be doable.
What would they do? Would they just come in and build like a bridge or something, a couple bridges across the where the creeks crossed right there,
like that,
something like they did with the Green Mile, what I call it, from Jennings Park to O'Bannon. I'm gonna tell you, I mean, that's a beautiful area. I know it's prone to flood and that kind of thing, but I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful area. Of course, that's why that was my first choice to do the Dash Bash.
That's where I thought the egg was going to be. I did.
You did. I read it. Well, I opened it up and read it, and that's exactly where you said you thought it was going to be.
I knew that you liked going down there. You take your dogs down there from time to time to run around and enjoy the water. And I said, Ken's going to put it at O'Bannon.
I do. I'm not going to lie. I thought about that. But I also thought about, it does get locked up at night, that kind of thing. And so, of course, a lot of places get locked up at night, and that didn't matter during that. So you learn. But no, Rob, hey, I mean, great event. I mean, just couldn't have went off. In my opinion, there may have been a lot of hitches. Nobody saw them.
No, we had very few hitches. There was one or two, but when you get 700 people together, you're going to hit one or two things. But it was pretty good. Now
it was good.
How about that, Sarge? I didn't know that at all. Still can't believe that the rodeo, Miller Homecoming, and Neal Homecoming all on the same weekend.
Nothing to do here.
All on the same weekend. This got to be the first time in how many years that Miller and Neal's homecoming has been on the same night?
I don't know this ever happened.
I was going to say I don't know if that's ever happened, has it?
I don't remember it.
What are they going to do about the parade? I mean, that's going to be a nightmare.
I didn't even think about that. It's my year.
That's going to be a night. I'll tell you this. You got anything going on in Bruton, Alabama, you better avoid downtown that Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah. Anyway, so no. But, hey, great event, Rob. And we're going to do this again next year?
We're looking at it.
Good answer.
If you want to lose some weight, this is the way to do it, buddy.
Watch it, sucker.
This has been a labor of love. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, we appreciate you coming in, Rob.
Thank you so much,
man. Yes, sir. We appreciate you. And if we can help out, let us know. And certainly I'm glad DJ finished, and thank you for stepping in for him. We needed
to stand up for him. I had to stand in there.
Thank you, Robert.
Well, you did.
I might have been a little better, but I was playing against Superfly over there. So
Superman.
Yeah. Gracious.
Yeah.
The leap that he took over that second obstacle, I'm like, you can't do that. And he did do it.
Man, listen, when I saw him walk up there and take his shirt off, I said, oh my, this is not good. And this guy, nor the other bully, DJ's not the bully, but the bully, they're gone. So, I'm thinking this ain't happening. JoJo Luttrell has just walked up here and took his shirt off and is saying, come on. And I was thinking, this is not happening. I told Clobber and Rob, I said, hey man, don't do this. Anyway, we're going to reset this thing. Let Rob get out of here. I know he's got to go. And we're going to, anyway, we'll be right back. Rob, thank you. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
DJ. Appreciate it,
Rob.
Let's see. Well, so let's just call it like it is. And what the heck happened Saturday? I mean, inquiring minds want to know. There are a lot of people out there that come up to me over there saying, "What just happened?" I couldn't tell them. I wasn't in on it. I don't know what happened.
All right. I left the Groove at 3:30. Went home, got a little rest, changed of clothing.
Wait a minute.
There was a rally.
What the hell is the world coming to?
That hurts my head to laugh.
You left the Groove at what time?
I think it was about 3:30.
Okay. Well, that answers some of it.
And got back.
Wow.
Got a little R&R. Got into race mode. Went down and joined Team Mudcats. And here we go. And I don't know. I got delirious about a half a mile into it. So I really wasn't in my right mind the rest of the day. Finish. My body's completely shot. Nothing's going on. I'm getting some encouragement from some of the people down at the park. So I'm going to go here and get it on with Burnham and get this thing done. And the next thing I know, the chief of police is coming up, shouting arrest and this, that, and the other. And I'm always going to be respectful of law enforcement officials. And I knew I could get my side straightened out. I didn't know about Tony, didn't care about Tony. But,
well, I thought one of the, telling quotes from that was, "Somebody call my mama." I don't know how funny that was to you, but I ain't gonna lie to you. That was, as things go, that was pretty good. That was as good as.
I want my daddy's record.
What most everyone doesn't know, but we do. We were going to have a little scrimmage at the tailgate party at the Fishbowl.
Okay, let me say this.
And we saw how that went.
This whole circle of trust thing that he kept hollering up there that night.
Yeah.
And I even deleted that video. Okay. But I'm telling you right now, that circle of trust is gone after I found out what I found out Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just lay this. I want y'all to. It
still exists, does it not?
Oh, it still exists.
Yeah.
I want y'all to get this picture. Okay. Now here's the deal. And I'm going to tell you what my theory is on why that happened with Chief, because DJ had nothing to do with this. He wasn't in on it. I called DJ Saturday evening, which he didn't answer because he was asleep and wore out. So I talked to him yesterday, and he told me point blank, he said, I didn't have anything to do with this. So I'm going to tell you, this is my theory as to what happened. And it's not a theory. It's kind of based on some facts. Okay. Friday night at the Fishbowl, we had a kind of a tailgater, whatever, if you want to call it. And so we went and dropped by, and there was just a few kind of standing around and all this, and some words got exchanged and things got said, and said, okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and we'll line it up right here.
A sampler.
Yeah, we'll just get it on right here. So guess what? They did. They got out there and they lined up. They got in the starting block, and I called it out. On your mark, set, go. Well,
and I was in blue jeans, by the way.
Yeah,
and didn't back up from it.
Well, I'm gonna be liberal here. About 8 yards into it,
maybe being real liberal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I said I was.
Yeah.
About 8 yards into it, we turn around, and not turn around. We're watching the race unfold. Now, understand, DJ come out the block ahead of the bully.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. We got video to prove it. He come out the block ahead of the bully, and then the bully decides to roll it up.
That's a fact.
And he rolled it up. I talk about hands first, skint knees, legs, elbows, road rash, asphalt rash. Tore him up.
He was picking asphalt out of his hands at the groove the rest of the night.
Sure. He comes back over there. Of course, he gets up. He starts hollering, delete, 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 circle of trust, circle of trust, circle of trust.
That's a fact.
Nobody tells everything, circle of trust. And guess what? The first thing he wanted to know was I was out in front, wasn't I? I was out in front. Well, his own boy, Butcher. You know what he told him? He said, yeah, when you was falling forward on that doggone asphalt, that's when you're out in front.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't ever out in front. So for those of y'all that want to know, I'm telling you, that's exactly, your video don't show much, Butch, because it's dark. Okay? But I got a video. I got my video. You know, I may not have deleted when I said I did.
That's a fact.
Okay? So I've got a video that proves what I'm telling you, and I'll be more than happy to put it up and play it. Okay? But the fact is that Will gave out on him, and he rolled it up. And then the only time that Butch, when Burnham asked Butch, was I out in front? Butch said, yeah, when you started falling forward. Because for those of y'all that want to know, it was DJ was walking off with it.
Walking away from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a fact. So I don't care. You know, we could talk all this and all that and all this and all that, but you see the belt still where it is.
Circle of trust.
Well, okay.
Double crosser.
No
He's
problem.
A double crosser.
No problem, Butch. We'll take care of that. Yeah, I mean, well, circle of trust, and he's already went and made sure that if his second wasn't going to be Butch, as he told you and I it was going to be.
Yep.
And I thought you had a second.
I did. He had to leave. JP was going to stand in for me, the coach.
That's what I thought.
He got called back unexpectedly. Like I said, I was down with it. You know, my system was shot. I had done the 3.8 in the mud run, but I was up for another one. Whatever had to go down, I was going to do it. And then things started happening.
I agree, Sarju, but DJ was headed off 4109, and Burnham headed off, should have been to the emergency room at DW.
I was worried about the asphalt. To be honest with you, I'd take the patching machine over there and look and see if repairs need to be done on the trails.
I mean,
that's an attention getter.
All I can tell you is that Butch said your second would have never stood a chance. Hey, look here. We didn't know that you were in on the little joke there, or whatever you want to call it. I say in on it. I don't know if you're in on it or not. All I know is that when I saw JoJo Luttrell come up there saying he was fixing to take up Burnham's slack, I was like, this is not good. And what Rob just said is a stone cold fact, is that when the gun went off and when he went over that top mound, he jumped from that one to the next midair.
That's hard to imagine. That is just hard to imagine.
Well, he did. God. That's on video. Everybody and their brother can watch that. Everybody. So, you know, I mean, and JP's in here. JP saying, you know, hey, and we know JP wanted to be there and would have been there. We certainly understand that. But I can tell you right now that, you know, I mean, all I can tell you is the one that we had, you know, placed as a second, which was Butch.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Oh,
and he did. So, but that's my theory behind what happened.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does. JP, I'm not saying you wouldn't have run JoJo. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you'd had a tough time with JoJo. I mean, you know, Clobber Rob talks about DJ being sudden. Whew. I'm telling you, when that gun went off, it's like somebody stole something from JoJo and he was chasing them down. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Coach A did what any good, he's got to have some military minded in him because he adapted and overcome.
Competitor. I love it.
He let him go through that last one. He said, the heck with this. He done jumped the first one. I'm going to take care of the one that matters. And he did, which was that last one. And when he come across that line,
Winning.
that's what he did. So, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, I did too. I said, thank the Lord that the belt is going to stay where it's going to stay, and we don't have to wear those god-awful white and red shirts. Nothing wrong with white and red. I'm talking about the Cobra Kai thing.
That's right. That's right.
You know, now don't get me wrong. I'd wear one of those Cobra Kai shirts just because I'm in love with that series. Can't wait for the next one to come out. But, man, I mean, you know, that was, and let me tell you this. And so then I didn't have either one of you or Burnham there to take up the slack. So guess who got hit with what happened? Where'd they go? What went on here? I did. I got blasted with all that stuff. And I'm like, good morning, Brandy Jackson. Hope everything went well up there. I got blasted with it, and I didn't even know anything about it. Nothing. I'm standing over in the dark. When I heard you say, is this something to do with Sex Panther? I knew then. I said, we were in there running our mouth about that on Friday.
I thought all the paperwork was gone on it. But
well, I mean, isn't there a statute of limitations?
Well, like I said, I wasn't down there as long as Tony was. I got my situation taken care of. I was released. It was...
Is it true, and I think you can confirm this, I think you kind of did somewhat the other, is it true that Burnham had some red marks around his wrist from the handcuffs?
I'll just say this. They're not made for comfort.
Man, that is good.
Real tight quarters in the back seat, real tight. But he didn't hold up well. It didn't surprise me, but he didn't hold up well.
Yeah. Well, you know, Rob said the thing most lost on this occasion was since the Kai lost, somebody is owed a Rob chop.
I say Butch.
Huh? There you go. There you go. I'm with you. Hey, that was a no DQ. That's correct, Dwayne. I'll tell you what we need to do, man. June 30th at the Dash Bash, we need to have a loser leaves town. Forget a foot race. I mean, it's 109 thing. Every time we try to have it, for some reason, just never kind of comes together. Okay. So I got an idea. Let's have a spelling bee. And
he'll start a fight.
Well, right. But it ain't going to be with us. Okay. If he's got warrants out, and apparently he did, we can get all that, yes, they got both. Didn't y'all get thrown in the back of the same Tahoe?
We did.
Yeah, they did, Colin. So, all I can say is the Kais did lose.
They did.
Sarju.
They did.
It was a no disqualification, falls count anywhere match. Okay.
Right. In black and white. All the paperwork was about.
Yeah. I mean, look at that, Tracy Steele. Thought it was epic to see your shoes taped on at 100-mile-per-hour tape.
Had to have them taped on. Couldn't lose them in the shoe sucker.
Well, I'll tell you what. We ain't the ones that use the jib jab there, Butcher. That'd be your side. Three letters. JIB. JOB.
It's all about the threes.
Watch it, sucker.
I'll tell you what, man. Anyway, we got to do something to settle this thing. It's obvious he's going to do whatever he can to not have to run.
Yeah, I think you can take that off the table. He's not going to run.
He's not going to run.
He doesn't want to do it, not going to do it.
Well, he got embarrassed Friday night. I'm going to tell you what happened. He saw Friday night. Listen, at the Y ball fields, I saw you were there. I saw you two run.
I beat him at the Y.
Okay. Let's tell the real story. Yeah. You smoked him at the Y.
At the Y. We
didn't tell it because he said,
let's have the build up.
If we tell it, it's going to cheapen it down, so don't do it. So the fact is, we're going to tell the truth right here. DJ smoked him by 20 yards at least. The Y.
Yes, that's true.
It's a fact.
And I was fixing to do the same thing at the Oaks until he crashed.
At the Fishbowl.
At the Fishbowl. Yeah, at the Fishbowl.
Yeah. Listen, I was there.
And there were guys there watching that.
There was guys there watching that.
They were plentiful. And they saw that.
Well, his captain, his co-captain, Cobra Kai, was the one that told him the only time he was in the lead when he started falling forward.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the lead then.
I've got Louis Hinota's shirt.
He wasn't in the lead then.
No.
So,
good morning, Summer. Good morning, Bryce. Good morning, Brandy.
I'm getting some, let's see here. Anyway, so for those of y'all that want to sit here and think that, hey, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, I can tell you, yes, it did. The race has been run. Yeah, it got run Friday night to the tune of about 8 yards. But at the Y ball fields during the Dash for Cash, the real 109 was run.
And he trespassed that night, by the way.
He did. He showed up unannounced.
That might have been some of his legal situation from this past week.
But let me tell you something about that. Everybody saw the camera go black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, guess what? I recorded that too.
It's on backup as well.
I got that on video as well. So the circle of trust, you can bust that circle of trust all up, pal. When you sent JoJo Luttrell in there to do your dirty work.
Double crosser.
Okay? You want to double cross somebody and think that's funny? I'm going to tell you right now. We can all play that game.
Okie dokie.
We can play it, man. And it ain't no problem. A full race has happened, Sarju. Did it happen or did it not happen at the Y ball fields?
It absolutely happened. So
if you've been told that it didn't,
you've been double crossed.
You've been double crossed and lied to from your fearless leader. Okay, I said a liberal 8 yards, Butch. I said liberal.
Do you have the sound bit from the Bruton Police Department Saturday morning?
Not yet, but it's coming.
It was kind of a replay of the compassion, the sympathy. His voice was a little stronger, but he was down there pleading his case, wanting his mother. And I said, look, am I good to go? And they said, yes. I signed myself out and I was gone.
Listen, I got an idea. And Connie just mentioned something like this. And I was just going to, say something like this. Good morning, Lisa Hart. Let's have either a pizza eating contest, a hot dog contest, corn dog. I don't care. Wing, whatever. But that's something that both of y'all can sit down and do it in front of everybody. And can't anybody come up and, blah, 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 oh, this and that. And, oh, here's money to do this and all that. And we could do that at the Dash Bash. We can make that happen. Now, would it be pizza? Would it be hot dogs? Would it be hamburgers? Would it be wings? What would it be?
Yes.
All of the above.
Yes.
But let's pick one. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll put a poll up in drive time and we'll let everybody pick what they want and whatever the most popular is, assuming that both parties will eat it. Now, it's got to be something both parties will eat.
Not gonna be pickles.
Yes. I mean, it has to be something that both parties will eat. We will make that happen at the Dash Bash for sure. They will sit down and one of them's going to eat until they win or puke, one of the two. First one that pukes is out. Okay? And I'm sure we can get some people behind that deal right there because that would, that'd be a pretty good thing. Donuts.
I love that idea. Pizza from the market. I love it.
There you go. Hey, that's right.
Yeah.
Or cheesecake.
Yeah, sure.
you know,
Peanut butter cookies.
whatever. But I'm just telling you, we'll put a poll up. We'll let everybody tell us what y'all think about that, because I think that would be a stellar thing to do. Yeah. How about some of them jelly beans, DJ?
No, sir.
Oh man, that'd be rough. Look at him. Look at him.
He is something else.
Look at him.
He is something else. That takes a lot of nerve, pal.
A little compassion and sympathy from y'all.
That's just how he said it was. I want my mama. I want my mama. Somebody call my mama. Oh man, listen, get out of here talking about you would of this. All this bunch of craziness.
How many staples you get in those hands?
Yeah. What you did was rolled up like a big doggone bale of hay right there next to the doggone fish bowl when DJ was skating off from you backwards.
Winning.
Rolled up like a big bale of hay. I like that.
You threw that circle of trust. You threw that circle of trust right on out the window there, pal. When you wanted to get your man to show up down there thinking it was funny, him down there acting like dadgum Ox Baker from back in the dang wrestling days, tore his shirt off like Hulk Hogan. You know, man was jumping up and down. His feet was above the table every time he jumped. You know, some of us didn't think that was too funny.
A big bale of hay.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. I mean,
There's no way that you could come from my loins. As soon as I get home, the first thing I'm gonna do is punch your mama in the mouth.
I will say something too. Listen, that made me think about how about Big Kenny making a cameo down there on Saturday?
He walked up to me. He said, "You know who I am?" I said, "Yes, sir, James. Good to see you." He said, "Yep, you said you boys gonna race?" I said, "I hope so. I'm here ready."
This is after you'd already run 3.8 grueling miles.
3.8, yeah.
Yeah.
I've already raced once, sir.
Yeah.
But I'll go again.
Yeah. He said, hey, there we go. It's a rib eating contest. Larry Murphy said he will donate the ribs. Done. T-Bone, are you in? Larry Murphy, Camp 31 is donating the ribs. We're going to have a rib eating, rib off, whatever you will. We'll come up with a name, but it's going to be the 109 version 2. But it's going to be a rib eating contest. Are you in, or are you going to sit here and run and let Butcher stand in? And ain't nobody standing in this time. It's going to be DJ and T-Bone. Is T-Bone in or is T-Bone out? Where you at, guys? Where's your man? That's what I want to know. The first thing I thought that you may ask Kenny when you seen him was, did you happen to find that members only jacket?
The first thing I did was I looked at his footwear. I was looking for the Red Wings. That's the first thing I did was I looked down for the Red Wings.
All right, Burnham's in. So we've got a rib eating contest live on the stage or live somewhere down at the Dash Bash Saturday, June 30th at O'Bannon Park. Rib eating contest between DJ and Burnham.
Let's do this Friday night before Saturday. I want to have a good time Saturday.
Okay.
I don't want to be.
All right, we'll do it Friday night.
Let's do it as a precursor.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get with Larry. We'll go to Camp 31.
Yeah.
We'll go to Camp 31. We'll set up. We'll stream it. We've streamed a lot of stuff out of Camp 31.
Yes, we have.
So we'll stream it. We'll put it out there, and rib eating. How would you say this? A rib off, or I don't know how to say it. How about a rib eating contest? Whatever. We'll come up with it.
But the night before.
On Friday night,
because I want to party with the pigs on
Friday
Saturday.
night, June 29th, we're going to have the rib eating contest between DJ and T-Bone at Camp 31 Barbecue. How about that? And we're going to see how many they can put down. Now, for those of y'all like to put wagers in on that, hit me up on Messenger, and we'll do that. Josh Godwin still has a $500 bounty out there to go to one of the charities that has yet to be given out because we have not been able to get anybody to race yet. So
I got a feeling if you showed him the footage from the fishbowl,
I know he'd get. I know you'd win. He'd go ahead and
or
get
you
it.
could show him the one from the Y. But that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. We'll do it this way.
Yeah, real rave. How about that? That's good. Happy Monday, Lisa Weaver. Good morning to you. Hey, we're not going to cheat the Kais out of anything, pal. Okay? We don't cheat anybody out of anything. We wasn't doing any cheating down there Saturday at all. Okay? So let's get that straight right now. That was other folks was involved on that, and it wasn't us. We didn't have anything to do with that. Did you? I know I didn't.
I was ready to run 2 races.
Yeah. Well, you'd already run one. So I don't know why you wouldn't run another one. No excuses, T-Bone. Friday night, June 30th. Make sure your calendars are clear. And we're going to live stream it.
The Rib 09.
That's good. Rob said call the Rib 09.
The Rib 09. I
like it. That's what we're going to call it. The Rib 09. That's good. Yeah. That's good. Skip the whole last obstacle. What do you think he's supposed to do? He's racing Mighty Mouse. I mean, come on, man. Listen, excuses. What was the excuse Friday night for falling down? Thank goodness he had his medical alert bracelet on and could push that button and said, I've fallen and I can't get up. And he did.
What was the excuse for the foul ball?
I don't know.
I mean,
his man was neck deep in the mud and coach just sashayed in past the whole pit. Well, seeing that he jumped the first obstacle, which, it was tit for tat, the way I see it.
I'm like, JP, you're correct, coach. There was no DQ.
Yeah. It was no disqualification. Hashtag the Rib 09. That's right. Hashtag it up because it's coming. There was no DQ at all. So get mad, get glad, get whatever. Friday night, June 29th, Camp 31 barbecue. I hope Larry don't get mad for me booking this at Camp 31. But because I hadn't even asked him.
No.
But if there's a problem with it, Larry, let me know.
Larry's a good sport.
We can make other arrangements, move it wherever we need to move it. But certainly, I think Camp 31 would be a great place to do it.
That is who I was hoping would come in this morning.
Who is that?
Adrian Scherer. Let me tell you what Adrian did to me Saturday.
Well, let's hear it.
And I think she's a Kai.
What? Wait a minute now. That I can tell you this. I don't think Michael is.
Well, I don't think Michael is either. But I'm gonna tell you what she did, and then you just tell me. I don't believe in coincidence at all.
I don't either.
Coming off the Green Mile, the bridge back across Jennings Park, back into O'Bannon, you're getting on the back side of the race at that point.
That's right.
I'm coming down, and she and Melissa McMillan are there stationed between the bridge and the last little obstacle that you do where you pull the logs. Well, she sits there right in front of my face, and she's eating a sausage and biscuit from Burger King. So she just had to have one, and she kind of over-accentuated the bite right in front of my face. She knew how bad I wanted one, and I thought that was a little cruel and unusual punishment.
That is. That's
given
dirty.
what I've just been through for the last hour and a half.
Larry Murphy's in. He's already making bets.
Okay.
He's in. So thank you, Larry. We will see you that Friday night, June 29th, for the Rib 09. And, yeah, that is kind of dirty.
Yeah. She was sitting there.
I mean, that's
working on it now.
That would be like me going to the door.
Yeah.
As one of these crackheads walk by, me holding up a little baggie and swaying it around.
She got me.
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm just telling you that I think there was a lot of people that were, I knew he was overconfident. He'd been overconfident for 3 or 4 weeks, and now looking back on it, I see why. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I do. I see why now.
There's ringers, and then there's JoJo.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact of the matter is I didn't have a chance to get over there to JoJo and pull the family, the old blood thicker than water thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was all going down so fast. You know, I was like, I would have went over and said, hey, man, I know you ain't about to race for this idiot. But he did. You know, I saw, you know, I knew something was up when Butcher wasn't getting ready to run. I knew something was up.
Well, that was never going to happen either. But Saturday afternoon, Tony, he said, when he finally got out, he came by the house. He said, I have to tell you, I double-crossed you. And I said, no, you double-crossed me. I don't believe that.
Oh, so he admitted to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't believe that. I double-crossed you.
Wow. Well, all right, people, you heard it. Saturday, June 30th, the Dash Bash.
Yes.
We're going to have a big time. DJ Mark the Shark, thank you, Mark Miller, for bringing that tent out. That made that heat bearable. It was like he put up an air conditioner. That was awesome. Thank you for that. We're going to have a lot of music, a lot of entertainment, a lot of things for kids to do, a lot of things for families to do.
An egg hunt.
We're going to have a hunt for some money and maybe a few other things. But come darkish, and y'all know what I said, ish, you know, that's when the adult kind of deal kicks in. And, of course, we got the bass player and the his wife, which is Love Is War. They're coming on first, going to do about an hour, a little over an hour of an acoustic set before the Pygmies come on live. And then the Pygmies are coming on, and they are going to rock Bruton, Alabama. They are going to rock O'Bannon Park. It's going to be on, and we're going to have a big time. So we want to make sure everybody understands. Friday night, June 29th, time to be determined. We'll get all those details figured out with Larry and DJ and T-Bone. The Rib 09. I like it. I like it. That's good.
The Rib 09.
Yeah, I promise you that. I promise you that hashtag's never been used. So it's about to be. That's good. The Rib 09. And I'm telling you, it's going to be on. Now, let me say this about money. The money has been hid. I've been waiting on you guys to get people back involved and get people in here where we get up to 500 viewers on this show. The day that we get up to 500 viewers on this show live while we're in here, I'm going to give y'all a clue.
That's simple.
The very first one. And they're ready. So, you know, listen, everybody have a great Monday out there. You know, I don't know if it's probably like last 3 or 4 or 5 days, rained every afternoon. Y'all have a big time. What's going on this week? Graduation is when, DJ?
WSNL has theirs tomorrow. TR Miller has theirs on Friday. Not sure about Flomaton, Hillcrest, Monroeville, some of the surrounding areas, but it's going to be graduation week. Congratulations to all our young people.
That's right.
Fixing to close this chapter in their lives and move on to bigger and better things, and keep all of them in your thoughts and prayers and wish them well as you see them.
You know, tell you what, it's a big time in a senior's life right now because they're, you know, times are, you know, what they're doing is changing and routines are going to change and things that they've been used to are not going to be there anymore. So, you know, y'all get ready for that. DJ, I'm on, you know, I'll let you, let's find something here. We'll be good to get everybody going on a Monday morning. What would be something that we can get everybody kind of?
My favorite's that Mr. Jones.
Feeling
covered.
good.
But you do it. You're the man on the music.
Hey, that's good. We'll do that. There you go.
I love it.
How about that?
Had a great show in here on this Monday morning. Appreciate Rob Baxton coming in. Once again, year 1 of the Burnt Corn Creek Mud Run in the books. Looking forward to year 2. Hope you guys have a great Monday, great rest of the week. We love all of you, and we will see y'all in here tomorrow on Drive Time. Thank you to Pete Chevrolet and Jim Peach Motors for making it possible. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to Drive Time, live from the Peach Pit in historic Bruton, Alabama. Remember to tune in every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. ish. Remember to like and share the Drive Time videos, as the more you like and share, the more chances you have to win.